Good evening, and at long last, Wi-Fi hopefully holding up for us this evening. Welcome to Series 3 of Oxsports Unleashed. Yeah, you didn't think we'd come back for Series 2, but here we are, third series in. We nearly didn't. But we're pleased to bring you some more grassroots sports around our wonderful county of Oxfordshire for a third season of Oxsports Unleashed. We're really looking forward to it. We've got some great guests lined up in the coming weeks, and hopefully we will turn Kieren's phone off while we're going live, and it won't be a problem. But yeah, welcome wherever you are, whether you're in your jacuzzis, your saunas, your hot tubs, your kitchens, your living rooms.
Cricket pavilion.
We're pleased to have you with us live at Oxford Downs Cricket Club with kind permission. We thank them for the use of the pavilion for our studio. So I think without further ado, we really should crack on and get on with some sport would be a good idea, wouldn't it? Yeah, that's what we're here for. But welcome back, KDog.
Yeah.
Summered well, did you?
Summered well. No, not really. I had another crap season with the cricket bat, but I did score some runs in the last game, but Wes didn't publicise that.
Was that anything to do with your coach?
It was something to do with my coach, yeah. But I was a bit disappointed because I was looking forward to the tweet that he was going to put out, and he didn't mention me at all, which was a bit disappointing. But other than that, yes, it was all right. We had a good season with the county, didn't we? Really good season. Didn't win anything, but that's because of the rain, believe it or not. Yes, in this dry summer, we were completely screwed by the rain in all of our games, pretty much, which was quite disappointing.
With a good side.
Yeah, exactly. Very good side.
I think we should say what's coming up on tonight's programme.
Yeah,
there's lots of things around the county. Coming up very shortly, live interview with Emilia Bartram, Oxfordshire and Italian women's cricketer. So we're looking forward to speaking to Emilia very, very shortly. We've got football, we've got rugby, we've got some sad news about ice hockey and one or two other features as well. So stick with us through the evening. I'm sure you'll find something you'll like. Absolutely. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Well, our subscribers went up quite a lot at the back end of last series, so we'd like again for you to subscribe to the channel if you can.
Definitely, and what we'd also like this year, if we can attract anybody during these cold winter months ahead, a live studio audience would be good. We had one, I think, for the last show of last series, when we also had technical problems, when we managed to blow up the microphones, didn't we? We were on karaoke. But yes, if anybody's interested in coming into the studios at Oxford Downs to have a look at it and just see what we throw together, then please email oxsportsunleashed@gmail.com. Let us know that you'd like to come in, and we will very much welcome you into our studios. And everybody that comes into our studios, they do say, despite us being a bit late today, that it's quite professional. So let's hope it is. Yeah, so we've got all our regular features, Lock and Ride, no lion. Oh yeah, no lion. Lock and Ride coming up. We used to call it War and Peace, but it's a little bit shorter, I think, now. But we're going to start with football. We're going to start with Oxford City in the National League. Not had the best start to the season, if we're honest. And there was a bit of controversy on Saturday. They were playing Curzon Ashton, and there was a little bit of drama over the kits because the referee, in his infinite wisdom, decided that both teams could play in blue and white, which is probably not a good idea unless he was colourblind, of course. But Oxford City did eventually take the field against Curzon Ashton, and we've got some highlights of that game, and then an interview with Ross Jenkins, who was less than pleased with the controversy.
Ball, counter-attack now over to the right. Jack Stobbs will latch onto the loose ball. Crossing towards the box is a great ball as well. Over to the back post, and it's 1-0 to Curzon Ashton after just 4 minutes. And in the end, it's a rather easy goal for Jack Stobbs, who stabs home at the near post. The ball down the right, it outfoxed Byron Wilson. It was an easy cross.
It's going to happen now.
Well, there you go. The Oxford City team will make their way over to the bench to change into that red shirt. Well, that is I'm not quite sure how that's been allowed to happen by the referee. And Oxford City's players en masse waltz over to the bench and take off their home shirts. Ball. It outfoxed Byron Wilson. It was an easy cross.
It's going to happen now.
Well, there you go. The Oxford City team will make their way over to the bench to change into that red shirt. Well, that is I'm not quite sure how that's been allowed to happen by the referee. And Oxford City's players en masse waltz over to the bench and take off their home shirts, and they will now play in a changed, bespoke kit, almost a la Portsmouth, but inverted, if you like, of red shirts.
Today's match, as you can see.
And there you go, a short delay because Oxford City are having to change out of their home kit. They'll cut inside, cross in, both players stabbing at it, bounce it to Clark. Clark! What a goal from Ewan Clark! And when Oxford City needed a little bit of class, a little bit of magic, it comes from Ewan Clark, who takes the ball down, moves the ball away from one, and then just as any normal player finds Ezenolin. It's just all Curzon Ashton at the moment, City defending here. And it's always into Curran, he's got to score! What a save! And it's in! Oh, and it's headed in by Ben Darby. And Sam Lewis, who makes a superb save to deny a first shot. He can't do anything about the second. His save bounces straight out to Ben Darby, who heads it into the back of an empty net pretty much. And once again, the pressure pays.
Yeah, I thought we dominated most of the game. I thought we were probably the better team in possession, moving it, getting a switch of play. They made it difficult at times by hitting diagonals and going longer, making us defend more, a little bit deeper and more long balls. But yeah, there's so many talking points within the game that actually wasn't the game. It sort of distracts you from the actual game of football at times. Yeah, it's frustrating. We've created enough chances as well. Ashby's hit the post. Tom Scott's had a decent chance to put it either side of the goalie. Couple half chances getting to the byline, just that last final product, that cut back, that pass to then put it in the back of the goal. We created quite a lot of chances. It is what it is. I think we just needed to be firmer and stronger. But you know, we were the bigger person. We had to go and change our kit, and we joke around. But the first goal, we don't even know what happened. We can't even remember who was marking who was in the box, because we looked up and we just saw blue and white. Players were moaning about it, both sides. Our players as well. They look around to go and take a marker, and they don't know. They look at each other and they look at blue and white and they think it's them. I think our players. So yeah, I mean that's sort of. I think it was 9 minutes, was it?
Yeah, but the decision was made pretty swiftly, wasn't it, to change that?
I mean, we're not messing around. I mean, anyone can see it's a kick clash. It doesn't need a clever person to realise that. The whole fans, the whole stadium could see it. Just one person couldn't.
Thanks to everybody there at Oxford City and Ross Jenkins for that very frank interview after their loss at the weekend. The eagle-eyed amongst you will notice that KDog has left the building, and I've been joined by a much, let's say, better-looking person than my co-presenter, Emilia Bartram. Emilia, thank you for joining us tonight. Emilia plays for Oxford Cricket Club, is also the captain of Oxfordshire women's cricket team and also the Italian national team. So welcome, thanks for taking the time and coming to see us.
Thanks for having me.
I always like to start with our guests, Emilia, you know, the background of you and where cricket came about and how it started for you, really.
Yeah, so I think probably like a lot of people in the garden with my dad, you know, just playing with my brother and things. And then it was actually via primary school, like cricket sessions, after-school cricket sessions, and Manoj Palmer would come in to my school. It was Wheatley Primary at the time, and he ran the after-school sessions. And then he said to my dad, I think, oh, why don't you think about getting Emilia into a club? So then he messaged Ros Porter, who is still an integral part of Oxford Cricket Club, and she kind of took me in, and it went from there.
That's quite interesting. The two names come up straight away there. Ros Porter, massive person for Oxfordshire cricket, let alone Oxford Cricket Club as well. Has been scoring for the over 60s and over 50s as well this season, which has been brilliant. And Manoj Palmer, you know, again, has his own academy and you know, coaching from that going into primary schools are absolutely fantastic. So yeah, great to hear that. Obviously, Oxford Cricket Club is your base now. You said it started there. Did you start playing in the boys' teams, or was it a girls' team that eventually got set up, or how did that work for you?
So I started in the boys' team. I definitely played a lot of boys' cricket, kind of up until probably under 15s. But then at the time, Oxford then developed a women's section. So I quite quickly started playing for the women's section. I didn't ever play girls' cricket in the club. but I did for Oxfordshire County in the kind of pathway they had at the time. So mainly boys and women's, and then as I grew a bit older, kind of the boys, I think it naturally kind of happens that you play less boys and men's cricket and then more women's cricket. But then I started playing men's cricket again for Charlbury for a good few years, and I actually think I would recommend it to any female player, actually, to be honest, because it's good for your own game.
I think you're probably right. You've hit the nail on the head there. The two biggest sides in the county at the moment, probably Oxford and Charlbury. Would you agree with that? I know there's Morton as well.
There's Morton as well. Morton are very strong as well. But yeah, I think we're the top three. They're definitely dominating. But it's really encouraging to hear now that lots of different teams are trying to build women's sections now, and that's just starting. So there's a lot of softball and development teams. And I know Downs here as well. They've got a team that. I think they finished top of their league. Yeah,
we didn't lose a game actually. Most successful team in the club this year actually. So it's a nice story.
Great for women's cricket, and I think we'll see that it will build in Oxfordshire over the next 5-10 years.
Yeah, it's quite interesting because from an Oxford Downs perspective, not losing any games in the development stuff that they did, and obviously Div 3 of the home counties Women's Premier League, going up to Div 2 will be interesting to see how they do. They're going to enter the 100 competition, which they haven't entered before. So, things are moving on. And as you say, if a club like Oxford Downs can do it, there are clubs out there, across our county that could do it. And it's well worth it because it just brings a lot of joy. You see so much fun being had by the players playing, so that's really good. And from Oxford cricket point of view, pretty successful season, winning the 100 against Charlbury. What was that like, and what was the season like generally? Yeah,
a really good season. I think we came second in the league, just falling short behind Morton in the points. I think the rain caught up with us and scuppered us a little bit. But Morton are a strong team and deservedly winners of the league. The 100 competition, I really enjoy it. I think it's really good in the sense that you play against people that you don't play in the league. You play a wide variety of players. So we try and put out a team that has development players, younger players, give people different roles, try captaining, that sort of thing. So that's always really good fun because it's at the end you play to enjoy, right? So that's a really good outlet. But yeah, and then the finals day at Challow. This is the second time we've been in it, and it's always a good day out, actually. And there were people there supporting, and Charlbury is a young team. I think that's what got them in the end. They don't have the same depth that we do at the moment, but they're strong. They're strong, and they put up a good fight. And I mean, Abby Flory, what
she's had an amazing season, hasn't she?
The amount of runs she scored this season. So yeah, all credit to them. It was a great day out. We had good fun. We know each other because a lot of us play county together, and so it's always a good day. Yeah, no, absolutely. So that's worked really well. Really strong setup there. And as you've already alluded to, if you're looking to play women's or girls cricket, get along to your local club if they've got running one, because it could expand into something really special. Yeah, so absolutely. That's good. So going on from that, from the club perspective, you've skippered Oxfordshire women's cricket this year. Is that your first season of skippering, or was that It's my second this time round. Yeah. I used to back in the day, and then I took a break, and then I
got back into it. How's that been? I mean, again, reasonably successful season, I would suggest. It's
been an amazing season. Yeah. Do you know what? It's been really good fun, actually. They're a really, really good group of people, and I think that helps massively. I think the culture we've created and the things we're striving for are really positive, and I think all teams have, periods where the ups and the downs, and I think we're really on the up at the moment, and the kids coming through, they're just so talented now. It's just so good, and they've just settled in really well. And obviously we've achieved, we've got promoted in the T20, and we were nearly there for the 50 over. I mean, I don't think I could have asked for more. Honestly, it's been great. Yeah.
I think, again, you alluded to there that, some of the younger players coming in, playing and actually competing, it's been really good, hasn't it? And, a force to be reckoned with going forward. So there's some really talented individuals playing at that standard. And you got a game in the Vitality Blast against the Blaze as well in the preliminary rounds. How did that go? What was that like?
So I wasn't there because I was actually playing for Italy at the time. But the girls, they all had a really good time. I think playing against that calibre of player was really important, and to be in a professional setup as well. So all the things that go around it, like the PMOA areas and not having a phone, those kinds of things that just show you the professional sport. I think especially for the youngsters who are going through the Southern Vipers pathway, the ones that are aspiring, Mim Aldridge, she's playing for the Blaze, and to get a taste of the professional elements of the game, I think is really important, and I think that was really valuable. And yes, we lost, but the experience was really good. I really enjoyed it.
You can't beat that, really, can you? It puts you in good stead going forward, without a doubt. It's interesting, you get into this game. Abby Norgrove is a great example at the moment, isn't it? Had an England under-19 tour in the winter, played in for the Southern Brave. Things have gone well. So if you do get into it and you show talent, there's a nice pathway into the professional game there.
And it's actually much more structured now. So because Oxfordshire have a partnership with Hampshire, our players get picked up quite quickly and they'll get invited to trials, at under 13 level. And then once you're in the system, you're always around the coaches. You get, much more coaching within that system. You get a lot of one-to-one time. And just if you perform then in the season, then, now the Tier 2 counties might look at the results and take you for a little bit of the season. And there's good movement between players, like between teams for players. So, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it's so encouraging to see. It's wonderful to see, actually, that we've showcased Abby a little bit on this programme in the past as well, and we're there trying to put people in the spotlight like yourself, and that sort of takes me on to the next. I probably should say, I mean, where do you think Oxfordshire cricket could go in the future? What do you think could be on the horizon?
Yeah, it's a bit tricky because they've fixed the tiering systems, so there won't be movement from Tier 3 to Tier 2. I think we could compete in a Tier 2 standard. I think it might get harder because the amount of funding you get between Tier 2 and Tier 3 is quite significant, and the resource and things that you're able to do with it. So I think the division between the tiers might grow over time. But I think we definitely need to compete to be the top of Div 2 in both Tier 3, Div 1, sorry.
It is complicated.
Both in the T20 and the 50 over. Yeah. And I think we need to, build a good core of youngsters and make sure that our girls' pathway is really strong and we're producing really good quality players.
It was quite interesting, like you say. When I was looking where we were, and I was thinking, Div 2, Tier 3. Well, it is a bit complicated. But they did change that for a reason, and probably for the right reasons in some respects. And I think it probably has worked quite well, hasn't it?
I think so, yeah. I think there's still movement of players, definitely. I think unlike the men, there's no fixed number of women that can play for a team, so there is a lot of shuffling around going. But I think once that's settled and, people figure out what level they're at, what they want to be at, the relationships between players and the teams within the tiers and all of that sort of thing, I think then we'll start to see massive growth. And then I think then we'll be able to match countries like at the highest level, Australia, who are a step ahead, really. Yeah.
No, that's really good to know. The bit I'm coming on to, and I'm quite excited about this bit because I don't know anything about it, and I love this sort of thing, that I find out a little bit more about the sport I actually love massively. So, Italy cricket, or Italian cricket, I should say. Just give me a bit of background of how you got into that and how that setup works.
Yeah, so by absolute chance. So, do you know Marcus Campopiano?
Yeah, I do know.
Yeah, so he was covering, I think, a county game for us a few seasons ago as a coach, and I overheard him talking about Italy cricket because obviously he's involved, and I sort of said to him, I didn't realise, like, Italy, like, what? And so he was like, I'll put you in touch if you want, and then I found out that there's this amazing cricket network in Italy, and I think I actually came at a good time when it was just sort of taking off,
right, yeah,
and the rise of European cricket and the European Cricket Network. And so, I got involved with them and, trialled for them, and then, started playing for them, and it's just taken over my entire life.
And I shouldn't ask this question, but the qualification, where does that come from? Because
So my mum's Italian.
Mum's Italian.
Yeah. So I have an Italian passport and not resident, but citizen of Italy.
Yeah, that's how it comes away. I think it's amazing. I love it, and you know that's only going to get stronger as well, isn't it, over time?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the fact the men qualified for the T20,
absolutely,
I think that speaks volumes, and the progress that the federation's made as well in professionalising the cricket in Italy. I think so I don't know if you heard about the Dream 11 situation.
Tell us.
So,
tell us.
So Dream 11, I think some people will recognise it from, you know, advertising, branding. It's on most cricket teams. The India cricket team have Dream 11 on their tops. So India passed a law recently where the premise of what Dream 11 make their money from became illegal. So Dream 11 then folded and withdrew funding from a lot of different places. And one of the places that relied quite heavily on the Dream 11 funding was the European Cricket Network, which I think initially developed as a kind of, you know, putting on like funny village cricket moments, but actually it developed into this very serious cricket. And what they've done very well is they've invested really heavily in the women's game in Europe, and they've put on loads of matches. You know, it's all live streamed. They are very supportive, more in a professional manner than a kind of, you know, village cricket kind of thing. And that has been absolutely amazing for Italy cricket because it's just like tripled the amount of games that they play. But now, I don't know what's going to happen with we're going to have much less games because we don't have all the ECN stuff. So it's a bit tricky because ICC work differently. Even though you need to play ICC to keep your ranking up. So we'll see. It's a bit of a funny phase at the moment, I suppose.
I suppose you do get that in a lot of sports when it is like it is at the moment. You probably have to go through that phase to get to that next level, don't you?
Yeah, and it will come. You know, sponsors will come. Something will happen. It will get back. But so this year the next step I suppose would be to qualify the women's team to qualify for a World Cup, and we're kind of. So you've got Ireland, Scotland, and the Netherlands, and then Italy are kind of the best of the rest. But we're always pushing that boundary. So it's exciting, really exciting.
No, it does sound it. I'm quite excited for it as well. I've got to be honest. Quite a hectic schedule. There was a period of 6 games in 8 days back in August, not that long ago. How was that?
Do you know what? It actually wasn't so bad because it was only 1 match per day, and then we also got 2 rest days, whereas in previous tournaments, it's 2 matches a day, and then just maybe 1 rest day per week, you know. And we were quite well prepared in the sense that we did a lot of fitness work before the tournament, and we knew what was coming, and we just played Div 2 of the equivalent qualifiers in May, which was even more hectic. So we're kind of used to it. It wasn't so bad. One of the Irish girls came up to me though and said, "Oh my God, like it's so tiring. Like I don't know how you guys are feeling. You know, we're professionals and we train really hard, and we've got, you know, they came with like all the support staff in the world and all of their screens and laptops and all of this stuff, and we were sat there with like our coaches, like, but actually we worked really hard on our fitness, and we weren't as tired as I think maybe people thought we might be. But I mean, it's still hard work, obviously, but it's so much fun.
How, because you work full time, I believe.
I've had to go part time.
Have you gone?
I can't. Right. I just can't do it otherwise.
No, I was going to ask the question. Is that so? The scheduling of your training, your coaching, and that has sort of impeded on your work life.
Yeah, because I did do last year, worked full time and also played full time, and it just because we train in Italy and Rome, so I'd have to fly out like Sunday morning at like 6 a.m. and then I'd get back at like 1 a.m. on Sunday, and then to work a whole day. And if you're doing that, say each weekend in the build up to a tournament, it's just not really feasible. Right. So I'm part time now, so I get Mondays off.
That's all right then. So there is a commitment. There is the commitment, isn't it? And what sort of teams are you playing? I think Germany are in the mix as well, aren't they? Is that right? Am I right saying that? It
really varies on the tournament. So generally, Germany, Sweden, we play them quite often. Jersey, we play quite often. Yeah. Isle of Man, we've played. Goodness, who else? Malta, sometimes in like a triangular. And then the last tournament, the one in August, we had Ireland, Netherlands and Germany.
which was probably just going up that level a bit as well.
Next step,
Really good. And that's fascinating. And for your personal milestones through the season, through Oxfordshire cricket and Italy cricket, what have they been like? Have you been happy with your performances?
Well, is any cricketer ever actually happy
we're
with
never
their
happy with our performances.
No. Well, I think one thing that I really enjoy is that I've worked really hard on my batting, and I think that's starting to show more in performances. So I open the T20 now for Oxfordshire, and it's my first season that I've done that consistently. So I've had, some good performances, some not so much. I think it needs a lot of work, but I'm making progress towards the right steps and to play my natural game, which is quite aggressive, and make sure I'm in the right place in the teams to do that. I had quite a lot of issues with my action, which I think actually you'd be aware of, because
I remember the times.
It goes back a long way, isn't it? So sorting that out in the kind of background of playing, and now you play all year round, it's really hard to find a time when you can actually just dedicate to remodelling your action. But I think we're on the right track. I haven't heard anything.
Was that something that, somebody said, right, we've got to do this, we've got to sort this out, or was it a little bit of you saying, I think I've got to sort it out? What was the situation?
When I started playing for Italy and the European Cricket Network, and you kind of, you meet coaches like the Netherlands coach, and you sort of speak to people, and they kind of go, now you're playing internationally, like people are going to question it. And I think the more successful you are as a team, the more people end up questioning it, right? Because if you're losing everything, then people don't really pay attention.
Yeah, true. Yeah, you're right.
And so it kind of started from there, where we thought, okay, right, let's get ahead of it, because once you get banned, the process to get back to playing is horrific, and we just wanted to avoid that, basically. So I did some ICC tournaments bowling off like 4 or 5 steps, just so I could have full control of my action. And then in August, I was back to like full run up, normal action. And I haven't heard anything yet, which I think I'm going to take as good news.
Are they sort of videoing you?
They were, yeah.
That's an interesting one, because I think from a coaching perspective, being a coach myself, is one of the hardest things you fix in a player. It really is. I'd be interested, what sort of drills have you gone through to help? I know that you can get a basketball and come over and stuff like that, med balls and stuff. Is that the sort of work you've been doing? Or?
So it's been really hard, and I really wouldn't wish it on anyone. I think it's a message to coaches out there that if you pick up someone, especially when, I think it does happen quite a lot in women's cricket actually, probably more so than men's cricket. And I just think if you pick that up when someone's 11, 12, 13, it would be so much easier to sort out than when they're 30 and they've got 20 years of bowling in their body, and it's hard work. I did a lot of static drills. I did a lot of like footwork placement drills, a lot of back arm, following the right path, lots of bowling in like line. Pretty much if it's there, I've done it. Yeah. It's also hard when your coach is in Rome to you have to send a video, then you get feedback, and then like a week later you send another video, and it carries on like that. But it's definitely looking a lot better now than it was a couple of years ago.
Oh, that's good news. It's really interesting stuff as well, actually. That's fascinating on Italy cricket. I love that, and it's just a great story to see that sort of improve. I know we're at Oxsports Unleashed, and we should be talking about Oxford cricket and Oxfordshire cricket, but this is a real, it's just a bit of a tangent, and I think it's a wonderful one. So thank you for that. So winter plans, what does that look like for you?
Winter plans, so fitness, I think.
More
fitness, it's never ending, but I think you come off a busy season and you just want to slowly get back into moving your body and making sure all the basics are kind of covered and your strength and conditioning is there. Our next big tournament for Italy is in April, so everyone who finishes 3rd place of the World Cup qualifying regional sections, they're going to mush together and put in a tournament. So that will be a good chance for us to go against teams that are kind of level within their own regions, but outside of Europe. So that will really help with our ranking and things like that. So that's really exciting. So it'll be just about improving like technical skills, game planning, that sort of thing, just to make sure that we're ready for that tournament.
Brilliant. Sounds fascinating. We wish you all the best with all of that. Going forward from Oxsports Unleashed. It's been brilliant for you to come in. I should say we do go back quite a long way. Myself and Emilia, I have coached you both in a sort of EPP side of things and also for Oxfordshire women's side. Things have moved on a lot since those days, but I do remember one of the EPP sessions we did with the boys where I brought in a ballet coach. Do you remember this session?
I have never had such bad muscle soreness the next day. It is etched into my memory because I remember waking up and not being able to go down the stairs. And I literally had to bum shuffle down the steps and I couldn't walk for like 3 days.
That's made me good because I didn't have that problem.
Oh, well, good.
But I probably weren't quite as flexible. I would say.
Lots of jumping. Yeah, my calves were shot.
I remember because Jack Taylor, playing now Gloucestershire Cricket, just signed a new 3-year contract with Gloucestershire, being there at that time, and him really struggling with what we were trying to achieve from the movement. So, no, brilliant from that. It's good. Pleased that everything's going in the right direction for you. We do wish you all the very best, and thank you again for joining us.
Yeah,
good luck.
Thank you.
Fascinating. I probably should have asked Emilia there if there's anything that she could say to women's and girls. Is there anything you would like to say?
I think I just want to say that cricket is an amazing sport because regardless of your ability, age, what you want to get out of it, there's always a place for you. And I think women's cricket is such a nice environment, and especially in Oxfordshire at the moment, there's some really nice teams, some really nice people involved. There's lots of cross-sharing of, information, resources. And so if you're looking for like a community, regardless of who you are, what your background is, what you want to achieve, if you want to go all the way or if you just want to play for fun, like there is something for you in cricket. Yeah. And I think that's a really amazing place to be. Great ending there, Emilia. Thank you again for that. That's absolutely superb. Like Emilia says there, if you've got any interest, get along to your local club. If they run a girls, or you want to get involved and run, something for your club on the women's and girls side, do go along. It would be fantastic. It would be great for the community. It really would. So thanks again. That takes us away from cricket and back on to... I'm going to stay with cricket because my producer has told me so. We'll stay with cricket, which is great link. I had the pleasure back in May of going along to Langford Cricket Club's new pavilion opening. It was a really massive occasion, and I took some film and did some interviews. We've got that footage now, I think, if producer Wes has got it, and here's Langford Cricket Club's new pavilion.
It's been a mega evening. We're still in the midst of it right now. Sat in the home changing room with Darryl, which is slightly a strange feeling actually, but no, we've had a great night. Tried to do a bit of head count. I think we had 350, 400 people here, about 80 to 100 kids charging around. Had a fast bowling demonstration with our opener Tino, charging in with the speed guns, kids on the speed guns. Oh, brilliant. Kids trying to match him, and I'll safely say none of them bowled 80, much to their dislike. This project's been going on for 2 years. Yes, we were kind of functional last summer, cricketing wise, but we met a lot of the finishing touches in the winter, and it's great to have everyone down in one place. It was our chance tonight to give back to the volunteers, the donors and the sponsors.
It's great for the club. I've been here, 8 years. I've really sort of built my cricket around Langford, and I think it's really cool to see a new pavilion come in when for a lot of the time I've been here, it's been the little shed. Everyone sort of takes the mick out of it. But I think it's really cool now that we've got the proper pavilion, somewhere to call home.
The club has grown so that the initial nets have now been replaced by a more modern, up-to-date system. We've got more coaches, more people involved. Lots. The whole thing is exploded into something far greater than I thought would ever happen.
This club is run by a vast number of people now, and that's a much better future for it. You know, you need a big base of people doing the stuff. It's no good it all hanging on a couple of people. That's not good for the long term. But there's a big committee, loads of fundraisers, loads of people manning the barbecues, all different people. So it's not the same people doing everything, and I think that's great for the club.
We've had the choir singing, Cotswold Voices choir, which was a great effort, 45 strong choir. We've got the music blaring, the pints are flowing, and probably Langford CC at its very best.
Our thanks there to Tom Stevens, the Finley Wilsons, Freddie Webb, and Langford Cricket Club. It was a really good evening. They made me more than welcome, I can assure you, and it was just great to see the new pavilion. It's fantastic, brilliant. It really is, and to see a club like that thrive and have moved on from where they were is just it's brilliant to see. And I did laugh that Steve Finley Wilson may have had a little bit to drink on that interview.
You reckon?
But yeah, great fun. Great club if you're anywhere near to go down. So there we go.
Brilliant. Yeah, absolutely. I remember Langford back in the OCA days with the rickety old pavilion. It was a lovely place to play cricket, even back in the 90s. I played a couple of times there. Ridge and Furrow, wasn't it, on the ground? But it's a cracking place, still is, but it's a really, really good place. Just to the west of the county, sort of on the Gloucestershire border. They're doing pretty well in their league, and that's brilliant to see, because we want to see all cricket clubs across the area, Choa League or otherwise, to be doing really well. And it's great to see Langford doing so well. Just a quick word on Emilia there, Darryl. That was a fantastic interview, and it's flying the flag for Oxfordshire as an international cricketer. We don't get many of those, do we? And yes, brilliant to see that she's doing so well for Italy. And yeah, really talked passionately, didn't she, about women and girls cricket. There's a few clubs that she mentioned there, Oxford, Morton, and obviously Oxford Downs. I know that other clubs are looking to develop women's cricket. I know my club are. We had a women's team many years ago, probably 20 odd years ago, and were very successful actually. They got into the second or third round of a national competition, lost to a side up in Leicestershire, Loughborough I think, but that fell by the wayside. But Minster are looking to bring a ladies team back as well, and there's lots and lots of girls that play at Minster, and there is lots of girls that play here at Downs, which is brilliant. On the subject of Oxford Downs, before we move on to our next little feature, massive congratulations to Oxford Downs. First team, they are the best placed side in the whole of Oxfordshire this year. They had a cracking season, and I was here for the last half an hour of the last game of the season against High Wycombe, who won the league. It was a cracking finish on a really, really lovely evening, wasn't it? I know you were there having a few beers as well, and but for maybe one other victory somewhere, they could have won the league. It was really quite close at the end, and it's brilliant to see Oxford Downs doing so well. We will bring Matthew Warner in, I think, at some point over the next couple of weeks, and hopefully we'll have a little highlights package of their season, because I think it's really important to big them up, because not only do they allow us the use of their facilities here, but they're decent side, I have to say. Not bad. Right, we're going to move on to another little presentation now. And just a few weeks ago, at the end of the season, Minster Lovell, so my club, we wanted to commemorate, the word legend is not used in this context very often in the right way, but the word legend is absolutely the way to describe this gentleman. So Dennis Whittaker, who is an umpire, he's been an umpire for more years than I care to remember, at least 30, 35 years. He umpired for Horsepath as a panel umpire. He's umpired for Minster Lovell over the last 10 or 12 years. Sadly, Dennis isn't very well at the moment, and I had a thought. I saw back in the spring, in the pre-season, I went up to Horsepath for one of the Oxfordshire games, and I saw Dennis was there, and he was sitting in a chair that had been commemorated to him. And he's a great character, Dennis. And I said, oh, normally these chairs are sort of after you're not around. And he went, no, man, no, I wanted to sit in my chair. So he did. That was my impression of Dennis Whittaker, by the way.
Thanks for that.
So what we thought, thank you. What we thought would be a really good thing to do, and to commemorate Dennis and to remember him forever, actually, because he has been a legend, is basically dedicate something to Dennis at our club. And yeah, you could do a bench or a chair, which happens quite a lot. But we thought something a little bit different, and we've basically named our umpires room, the umpires change room, Dennis Whittaker's umpires room. And a few weeks ago, just at the end of the season, Dennis was thankfully well enough to come and join us, and we presented this to him with the club captain Ollie Mersch, and here is the presentation and a little speech that we said.
We're here today, as well as the game, to honour this absolute legend. I mean, Tony's written some notes. He hasn't known you as long as I do. Oh, no. But we want to thank you from everybody at the club, the bottom of our hearts, for what you've done, not only for Minster over the years, probably 12 or so years umpiring for us, but 40 odd years umpiring in Oxfordshire, and I think you've probably given more LBW than you sunk gin and rum. But seriously, Dennis, you've been an absolute stalwart of Oxfordshire. There's so many people in Oxfordshire that love you and respect you. I do, because it's been a pleasure knowing you over the years. You know, there may be something that's pretty hopeless. You know, obviously, Tony and Jake's not here today, but you know, we've happily picked you up and dropped you off because obviously there's the struggles of weekend game, but you've never let us down. You've been here every time we've asked you to umpire for us. You've done it. Yeah. And also a little timely moment to mention that he's also a legend at Horsepath Cricket Club as well. He's a legend now. He's already got a chair named after him at Horsepath, which I sat on and nearly broke. Oh, right. But what we wanted to do was something a little bit different and something to respect you and to basically have something that's going to be here forever, essentially. And that's naming our umpires room after you. Hopefully, that will inspire other umpires as well. And it's a genuine point there because umpires aren't very often appreciated. They're not, there's not many around, and the fact you've done it for 40 odd years is testament to you, Dennis. And I'm so pleased to see you looking so well as well. So what we want to do is we're going to ask you to cut the ribbon of your room. I nearly said your door. Your room. And basically from now on, we've got people named all over this pavilion. It's richly deserved because you've been amazing. So for me, Dennis, thank you very much. And I just want everyone to say something yourself.
To come and come over here. So I really thank you very much for all your entertainment.
Smile. Wonderful man, Dennis Whittaker. You saw the smile on his face there. That is his character. He is an absolute legend. As I said, that word's used quite often, but in this context, he really is a legend of Oxfordshire. Umpires are very often overlooked, aren't they? And he said he probably gave you out at some point in his career. I can guarantee you, if he umpires you, he would have done because he loves an LBW, does our Dennis. And I'm sure with you kicking it away, you'd have definitely been given out if you'd been umpired by him. So great stuff, and really good to recognise Dennis in such a nice way.
Yeah, brilliant, great stuff. And we're staying with cricket tonight. Obviously, we've spoken to an international already with Emilia Bartram coming in, but obviously our other international, Linsey Smith, has been in action with the England fixtures in the World Cup. And they've had 2 games thus far, and in the opening match England absolutely smashed South Africa by 10 wickets, and Linsey was in the forefront of the beginning of the game where she took 3 for 7. Fantastic effort. And then there was a massive scare in the second game against Bangladesh, where it looked like England were on the ropes for a little while, and fortunately Heather Knight came to the rescue, courtesy of some, I was going to say VAR then, but some decisions. But Linsey also bowled incredibly well in that game, 2 for 33 in that match. And England play Sri Lanka at Colombo, I think it is, on Saturday the 11th of October. So we hope Linsey's form continues through the World Cup, because that's been a fantastic start. and there are the fixtures there. So good luck to Linsey, and well done so far.
And once again, just showcasing some of our stars of Oxfordshire doing so well. It's great to see, and obviously we wish Linsey well. Hopefully we'll maybe get her in when she comes back from the World Cup, maybe with a World Cup winners medal. Yeah, that'll be a tough one against Sri Lanka though in Colombo, won't it? It's pretty hot there as well. And but you know, Linsey might fancy the conditions there, a bit of spin. You know,
conditions have been working in her favour at the moment, I think.
Nice segue on to some more international success for another international sportswoman who has come through Oxfordshire ranks. She actually also played cricket for quite some time as well. And this was Maud Muir in the Rugby Union, England women's, the Red Roses. They won the World Cup, as you remember, just a few weeks ago. They're beating Canada 33-13 in a final at Twickenham with more than 82,000 people watching, the biggest attendance for a World Cup final, I think, since the England win in 2003 with Johnny Wilkinson with that last-minute kick. So Maud Muir was very instrumental in that team throughout the World Cup. She made in one of her games 68 tackles and scored a try against USA. 68 tackles in one game. Maud attended Chowell School. She was an Oxford Harlequins and Gosford All Blacks player as a youngster. She also played cricket until the age of 12. I'm sure you probably would have coached her at some point, Darryl. She also played in the 2022 World Cup as well. And she continues to follow her Oxfordshire route. She's quite often up at Chinnor RFC alongside Ellie Kildunn, running workshops at Chinnor. She's very proud of her Oxfordshire route. So really, really pleased for Maud. Brilliant again, another Oxfordshire star that's gone on and
great to get her in,
helped us England win the World Cup. It really would be good to get her in if we can. We'll see if we can do that over the coming weeks. Thank you very much for listening, everybody, so far. And apologies that earlier on we started a little bit late, but better late than never, I would say.
That's what they will say.
Would be the buzzword. As we mentioned earlier on, we'd love it if we could get some live studio audiences in over the winter when the rain's pouring outside. It's always nice to have a little bit of an atmosphere. The last show of the last series, we were packed in the pavilion. There were lots and lots of people behind the camera. It adds a bit of atmosphere. If you would like to join us, you can drop us an email to oxsportsunleashed@gmail.com, and that's also the address to send your clips in, football clips, rugby clips, any sporting clips that you've got, interviews with any of the key protagonists in your football or your any sport really. Please send it in to us, oxsportsunleashed@gmail.com.
Yeah, well said, because that would be good for sure.
Yeah.
So there's a bit more rugby.
Yeah, we'll stay with rugby actually, because Chinnor started their new championship season on Saturday, just gone. They were away to Richmond, who were newly promoted from National League One. Chinnor fighting at the second tier of English rugby, which is still incredible when you consider some of the sides in there. Worcester Warriors have returned to the championship, and their first game of the season, they had a crowd of nearly 20,000. So interesting to see if they can get 20,000 into Chinnor, but I don't think they will. But so Chinnor had a tough game up at Richmond on Saturday. They actually ended up just missing out on victory. They did get some points for the bonus points, and we've got a few highlights of that game for you now.
For this famous old club, good hands from O'Connor, and Kitson weaves around, and this will be the first score of the game for Kitson and Richmond. Certainly on the front foot here, and their best chance of the match so far. On to Smith, and he has Goss outside him. There's acres of space, and in a not too dissimilar area of the field to Richmond once again. The referee's going to get in there. They are still short. Will the ball come out to Grieve? No, it doesn't. It doesn't need to. Darting over the line is Luke Jones, the replacement scrum half.
More games for us, I think, than for any other club. His dad is an international.
He was directly in front, and he does slot this one. It is not going to be enough for Chinnor to get the comeback win, but they do secure the losing bonus point. However,
There you go, that's Chinnor's first game of the season, a narrow defeat at Richmond, 18 points to 13. They're in action again this weekend, a very tough tie this weekend. They're away to the Ealing Trailfinders, who are the reigning championship winners from last season, so that'll be a tough game for Nick Easter's men. But we will follow Chinnor throughout the season. I dare say we'll get down to some of their games. They've got a few Friday night games. We've said it before, but it's really worth getting down there to have a look. Darryl and I went to see a game a couple of years ago against the Rams. I'm there quite frequently. The atmosphere at Chinnor is second to none, isn't it? Brilliant stuff. 3,000 people in the ground, and the night games particularly are quite a lot of fun.
Yeah, absolutely. Just get along there if you can. That takes us on to ice hockey. Oxford City Stars, we featured on this programme in the last 2 years. We've had the coaches in, live in the studio talking about the progression of Oxford City Stars. They've come to a bump in the road, unfortunately, and they have decided in this particular season to they're unable to continue, basically, and as you can see there, as a result in consultation with England Ice Hockey, the Oxford City Stars will treat the upcoming season as a transitional year. So hopefully they'll be coming back to competitive divisions for games in the 2026-27 season. But, we wish them all the very, very best from Oxsports Unleashed, because, like I say, I'll miss going along there this winter, having a look at some of the games that they played, and that must have been a really tough decision for them. And as you can see there, all the registered coaches and players have been informed, and they have been released into a free agency. So it was a tough decision, but it's probably the right one. Sometimes it happens with clubs, isn't it? Sometimes you have to have this situation to come out the other side and come stronger because of it as well. So hopefully Oxford City Stars, as they say, 2026, 27 will be coming back bigger and stronger. So
and I'm sure they
wish them
will.
all the very, very best, because I will miss going along there for sure.
Yeah, well spoken. I'm sure they will, to be honest. They've come back before, they've come back stronger before. Sometimes it's important, isn't it, just to take a step back if there's a little bit of a struggle in the structure. Just take that step back and just try and restructure, and that's what they're doing. I think that's the right thing to do, because it would have been terrible, wouldn't it, if they'd have tried to get through the season and struggled financially, and that could have caused more of an existential threat to them. So actually, sometimes the tough decisions are the hardest ones to make. But absolutely, we hope that they will return. I'm sure they will. They've got a really good junior setup as well that they've had in the past. So the future is still bright for Oxford City Stars, even though they will be missing for one season. Right, we're going to move on to Speedway now. We've got a little bit of Speedway, and the Oxford Chargers, powered by AW Mobs, they clinched the National League title, the WSRA title, with an incredible 60 points to 30 win against the Middlesbrough Tigers. There you go, some more of these great names. At Redcar's Echo Arena on Saturday. First time that any of the three Oxford sides had scored 60 points in an away fixture since Speedway returned to the Oxford Stadium way back in 2022, and quite appropriately it was the skipper Tom Scott who clinched the title in Heat 11, racing around Tom Spencer to pull away to secure a 45-21 scoreline with just 4 races remaining, and that meant that they couldn't be caught, and then they basically pulled away, as you often do in Speedway, to wrap up a really good victory, 60 points to 30. That's a cracking away result for any away team, to be honest. You don't see scores like that very often away, because similar to sort of other sports, the home track, the Middlesbrough Tigers, they'd have known their track a lot more. So to score so many points and be so convincing was really good. So well done to the Oxford Chargers. Great end to the season for them.
Yep, brilliant. I keep snorting tonight. I don't know what that is. There's a pig in the building. Get me out of here. Moving quickly on, because nobody noticed that.
They wouldn't have done if I hadn't mentioned it.
Probably not. We're struggling a little bit to show you the results of last weekend, unfortunately, but we are able to bring you the football tables as they stand as of, well, hopefully tonight, actually.
Yeah, what we might do, if possible, we might get the producer Wes to do some work and perhaps put the results out as a short, so we can show them, because he doesn't do much work, does he?
He's only done all of the producing
Exactly.
of this show. So there you go. In the Championship, Oxford United are in the bottom 3 at the moment, which is a little bit disappointing start for them. But that's where it is at the moment.
Yeah, into the National League North, Oxford City in pretty much the same place actually, 3rd from bottom, just 2 wins so far. That controversial defeat at the weekend. They need to start putting up some wins really. They've got Chorley away at the weekend. It's going to be a tough one. Banbury United mid-table, in the Southern League Premier Central. They don't have a league game this weekend because they have a very big FA Cup tie, but they're doing okay under Calvin Langmead so far, playing some good football, but they're currently mid-table in 12th place. Into Division 1 Central, Tame United, well, they've had a tricky start, haven't they? 2nd from bottom. They had such a good season last time out. Early days, of course, just 1 win so far, and that it sees them in the bottom 2 at the moment. And into Division 1 South, well, Didcot are picking up a little bit. They had a pretty poor start to the season. They've had back-to-back wins in the last couple of games to move themselves out of the early relegation zone. 2 wins then so far from their 11 games. They had and Jamie Heaper would admit they've had a shocking start to the season, conceding goals for fun, but they've really tidied up. Adam Leroyd's back, the skipper, and as you can see, they've pulled out of the bottom 4. They've got some relentless trips, they really have. They were desperately trying to get themselves into the Central Division. They have so many trips down to Cornwall and Devon. It's actually, frankly, quite ridiculous, and they were toying with possibly pulling out of the league. I'm glad they didn't. Hopefully they'll continue their upward trend, and maybe common sense might prevail at some point and they'll be put into the right league, because
really nice, wouldn't it?
Oxford City as well, they're in the wrong league, aren't they? South, 50 miles from Southampton. Crazy. And playing in the North League. It's a bit shocking, but anyway, that's me on my high horse. Into the Cherry Red Records Combined County, we've got a lot of teams in there now, because Kidlington obviously went down last year from the Southern League. They've made a decent start. They're in 4th place. Wallingford Crowmarsh in 6th, Ardley in 7th, Milton United in 8th. So 4 teams in the top 10. And at the bottom end of the table, well, North Lee, who Wes has kindly forgotten to highlight, but we'll say that that's fine. North Lee are in 13th, and they had a bad start to the season, but they've really picked up in the last couple of weeks. They started pretty poorly, but great to see them moving up the table. Abingdon United, they are in the bottom 3, but just outside the relegation zone. Very early days.
We should highlight British Airways, really, because that could be flown anywhere. So.
Yeah, we should, and equally Bugbrook St Michael, but that'll be that'll be on the next page, no doubt. So yeah. I'm sure that Wes will have highlighted them. Easington Sports in Premier Division South of the United County. I'm having a right go at Wes tonight, aren't I? It's because he's here. It's because he's here. It's an easy target. Easington Sports started the season not so well either. At the moment, 3rd from bottom in the United Counties League Premier Division South. Just 2 wins so far from 12 games. But again, Bugbrook St Michael are bottom, so that's good to see. And into the Hellenic League, Wantage Town.
Not for them.
Not for them, it's not, but they're not going to be watching.
Oh, that's fine.
Wantage Town in the Hellenic League Division 1. They are in 8th place at the moment. 4 wins so far from their 11 games. And at the other end of the table, Clanfield, well, they are in the bottom 2 along with Tame United Reserves. Carterton just outside the bottom 4 at the moment. I'm sorry for coughing and spluttering, but I have been for the last 8 weeks. So yeah, lots and lots of interest in all of those leagues. And as we say, early days, but we'll hope that they all pick up and move up the table. National League, Women's League, Southern Division, Oxford United have 2 wins, 2 draws, 2 defeats so far. They're in 6th place. The mighty Cherries, top of the league. Come on, you Cherries. AFC Bournemouth. Good on them. Abingdon United, 3rd from bottom at the minute, just 1 win so far. That's quite interesting. They've lost 3 games and, just outside the bottom 2 at the minute. But again, we keep saying it, it's very early days. And Oxford City, kudos to them in a moment. We'll talk about them just in a second. But in the league, Premier Division South of the Southern Women's Football League, they've started okay. 1 win, 1 draw, 1 defeat in 8th place. And congratulations to Oxford City for getting through to the first round proper of the Women's FA Cup with a penalty shootout victory over Denham at the weekend, and their reward for that is a home tie in a couple of weeks' time against Sherborne. They broke their attendance record for the last round in the third qualifying round, over 450, I think, at the ground, and hopefully we'll see a lot more there for their FA Cup first round tie, which will be at Court Place Farm, the M Group Stadium, I think on Sunday week.
Which is good news. Look out for a YouTube short on that information. We did have a piece to put together, but unfortunately it hasn't transcoded to our
technical issues.
I think that's the right terminology anyway. To us, so unfortunately we won't be able to show you that, but we will bring that on a YouTube short. Absolutely. Now, obviously, there is something that's been lacking tonight, of course, and that is Lyon Ryde.
Yes.
They haven't been on the programme. This is the first time that we've run an Ox Sports Unleashed without the trio.
That's why people were watching tonight.
That's rude. But it has, they're still doing a podcast under the guise of Ox Sports Unleashed, and they will be normally providing us a fixtures feature. Fixtures focus, sorry.
Yep.
Let's get that right. And that will be normally hosted by Lyon Ryde, or as I like to call them, Dick Dastardly and Muttley.
Yeah, and maybe the odd guest appearance from Lyon.
Possibly, we'll get the roar of the lion in at some point.
Maybe.
So look out for that, because that's on Spotify. Producer Wes, we're trying to get it on other portals as well. Yeah. So. Yes, any podcast readily available. So please do look out for that, because it's an extra part of Ox Sports Unleashed. We're broadening our horizons here,
slightly,
and keeping us out in the domain a little bit longer and throughout the week. So you can't get away from us.
The people that are watching are now thinking, "Oh, for goodness' sake, do we have to watch that as well?" But yes, please do.
It's a podcast.
Please
they
do.
don't have to watch it. They can listen.
Yeah, you can still watch the screen, can't you? And you can see the little.
I don't know if they've done it as a podcast.
I don't know.
It's a podcast, isn't it? Yeah, it's a podcast.
It's a podcast.
So you can listen to that in your cars and on the train, go to work, whatever. So a lot of work goes into that, and we do thank them because again, it's great work. So and they will be on this programme at some point in the future, if it transcodes, of course.
If we put 10p in the meter.
Yeah, if we do that, that'll be good. So I think that just about wraps it up for this week. But I have to say, amazing guest, Emilia Bartram. We wish her all the very best in the future. So thanks for Emilia coming in. And all the bits that we've put together, Wes, Patrick, Blake, Colin, Dan have put a lot of work in behind the scenes. And that's where I come into. If you want to get involved, be a presenter, be a producer, be a
audience member.
If you want to be somebody who interviews people, go out and do some filming. Please let us know, and you can. Yeah, there you go. It's that oxsportsunleashed@gmail.com. Oxsportsunleashed
wrong way.
@gmail.com. So please do get in contact, because we want to hear from you. We really do.
Absolutely.
Because it would be great to have new blood.
100%. Yeah, absolutely.
So please do that. Do you want to add anything?
Yes, I do. Thank you for asking.
That's good.
Because we've not had the fixtures this week, I just want to say again a very, very good luck to Banbury United on Saturday, because it's a massive game for them at home to St Albans City. If they win that, they're into the first round proper of the FA Cup for only the second time. I think only the second time in 50 years if they can get through. They're expecting a massive crowd there, between 1,500 and 2,000 at the ground. It's always a good atmosphere there. They're flying the flag for Oxfordshire in the FA Cup until United come in round 3. So good luck to Banbury, good luck to Calvin Langby. I'll be there on Saturday. I'll try and get some stuff for next week's show if it works. And yes, fingers crossed by next Thursday we can have some really good news from Banbury United into the first round of the FA Cup. That's it from me.
Glad I came in there. So thanks again for everybody who's had an input in tonight's show, and for you for watching wherever it's been. So please join us again live, hopefully at not 8:10, but 8 o'clock.
Fingers crossed.
Next Thursday live from Oxford Downs with kind permission. And we look forward to seeing you there when we unleash some more Ox Sports. We'll see you then.
See ya.